All right, everybody, it is time to do our final in-season commissioner picks. I'm going to go from the bottom. We'll get going into it. Meehow's team versus Sons of the Harpy. So Jake Browning actually playing pretty well. Pretty excited to see that happen. I'm actually running him in a few of my dailies, so we'll see how that goes. We had the A-Chain trade this week, so we'll see how that works right into his super flex, so that's cool. I don't think it's going to work out though for Sons of the Harpy. I think it's going straight to Mike on this one. A little bit low of a start from Najee, as we already saw it. DK with a huge game last week, but I mean across the board here, I think for Mike, I think Metcalf has a fine game, nothing like last week. Waddle should have a good game. I think Drake London probably does well. I think Laporta continues to put up some big numbers. I'm kind of fading Sutton and Akua here. I think Mike Evans does okay again this week. He's just been so ridiculously good. I'm not a big fan of Njoku this weekend, and so overall, I think Mike ends up moving to 11-3 for the regular season. Next up is Vince Cancerboy versus Lyndon's team. This one should be pretty straightforward. I'm not really going to get into it, but Vince is projected at 144 and almost a 80 or 90% chance to win. So probably not a whole lot to look forward to in here. Yeah, I mean, we got to get some quarterbacks on Lyndon's team, hopefully this draft. So we'll see. All right, cool. Let's move into Aubrey versus JP's. Aubrey's Maku versus JP's all-rookie team. So again, we saw some trades going on with these teams this week. Zap. I mean, put up some serious numbers. I do think that Aubrey probably sneaks another win in here. Dalton Kincaid is back. I think he actually has a good game. Evan Ingram, I'm kind of thinking he gets a few extra touches or looks at least this weekend since Trevor Lawrence isn't going to be as mobile with that busted up ankle. And then Jalen Reed for Green Bay has been great, so we'll see how he does. But the Giants' defense has been really good as well, so who knows. But easy win for Aubrey here, in my opinion. All right, we got Mike's Rico and Nico versus RB's Don't Matter. This is going to be a fun one, I think, actually. So Jordan Love's been playing quite a bit better the last few weeks. Dak Prescott's the on-fire quarterback to have right now. I think Russell Wilson has a good team. As I mentioned, T-Law's already got a busted up ankle, though, so I think it's not going to be happening a whole lot from him. I don't think he plays very well today. Justin Jefferson's back, though, and that's going to be a fun one to see. I think he goes right into just complete dominance, so I think that should be a big one. Singletary, Mixon, all those guys should be doing well. Flacco seemed to like Elijah Moore, so maybe we get him up there a little bit. I think Mike loses this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's really close. Eric versus Paul. So again, Eric's team's looking pretty solid for the playoffs here. I think Paul's team is looking good. Fields and Hurts, great combo to have going into the draft. And then we got Roshan and Keaton Mitchell, also some young rookies that are going to be, or young players that are going to be, kind of looking good for the future. But I just don't think it happens much today. Amon-Ra, man, just absolute killer. So great piece to build around, but probably taking an L here, Paul. All right, we got Teddy in the Hydra team versus Nick's Wilson to Wilson here. So Zach gets the start. I guess I saw something this morning that they're already talking about moving him, trading him, releasing him, whatever in the offseason. So kind of excited to see where he goes, honestly. Tired of him being at the Jets team. But Barkley and Gibbs, what a dynamic duo to have there. I think Zay Flowers continues to put up some decent numbers. I just don't think that we need to go too in-depth here. Hydra probably taking the L. And Nick moving to 7-7. All right, we got Ian's Dodd Take My Hoax versus Katie's Chubby Little Hands. Again, pretty straightforward here. We know Katie's been putting up some serious points this season and looking really good for the playoffs, so should be an easy W here for Katie. And then, last but not least, here's Truly versus Peter's team. I think motherfucking Ezekiel Elliott and Hunter Henry having a great, probably best of season game right there. That probably does it for my chances of winning here, but let's just look at it real quick. So Mahomes and Jackson on my side versus Purdy and Herbert. Mahomes obviously hasn't been playing great lately, and Purdy has been playing really well. Herbert, I think Herbert's been playing great. It's just really unfortunate drops by some of his teammates. So I think this is probably a wash on the QB side. Running back side, I think he takes it. I don't think Eckler gets to 12 points this weekend, but he certainly could. And I also don't think that Pollard is going to do as well as he is against Philly. So we'll see. I think it ends up being a win on the RB side here for Peter. At the wide receiver side, you got CD and Olave, Ayuk and Jones on my side. And on Peter's side, you got, let's see, Ridley, Debo Samuel, Kyron Williams, and Chris Godwin. I mean, Chris Godwin's kind of been a nothing burger this year. But Kyron Williams, Debo Samuel, and Calvin Ridley. Actually, probably no Calvin Ridley. I don't think Calvin Ridley is going to get the deep ball this weekend. So Debo and Kyron. Yeah, I mean, great. I think if I'm going to win, it's going to come from the wide receivers in the flex position. I just don't know if that's going to happen. Zay Jones might actually benefit from the busted up ankle, so we'll see how that goes. This will be fun. If Ayuk does great, does Debo do poorly? If Calvin Ridley does poorly, does Zay Jones do great? That's kind of where the win could happen for me. I'm going to give it to Peter here, which sucks, but it is what it is. As always, go Falcons. Thank you for a great regular season, and don't forget to update the message board if you have any things that you want voted on for the off season. Toodles.